No, it can't be easy if he's putting you under pressure all the time.
No.
I've got a lot of admiration for what you're doing with no-till, and particularly the herbal lays. They're my kind of farming.
Well, thanks, David, but you don't have to humour me.
No, I mean it. I tend to be a little more cautious these days. More cautious than the kids would like, anyway.
Isn't that always the way?
Yeah, but I'd hate to see the enterprise and enthusiasm ground out of you.
Mm.
No, whatever happens, you mustn't let Brian wear you down, Adam.
No?
No.
Well, he's making a good job of it so far. And I'm not sure how much more I can take.
Rob is forced to rethink, and Pip is made to be a guinea pig when we return to Ambridge tomorrow night at 7. Now on BBC Radio 4, it's time for Front Row with Samira Ahmed.
Hello. Tonight we stick it to the man with Andrew Lloyd Webber's School of Rock musical. We'll be announcing and talking live to the winner of the Goldsmiths Novel Prize. We dive into the modernist photographic masterpieces from Man Ray to Salvador Dali, all collected by Elton John. And how Ewan McGregor took on the challenge of directing Philip Roth's Dark Meditation.
I didn't look at the book with trepidation. I looked at it with sort of opportunity, that it was everything I needed to know about how to make a film in this between covers. A manual.
More later from Ewan McGregor. But we start with School of Rock. Andrew Lloyd Webber's stage version of the Jack Rock film celebrates children at uptight prep school taught to release their inner rock gods by a slow
So it's
fabulous show, which was unusual, I suppose, for that kind of show. And we have a mantra throughout the shows on BBC, which is that we nurture, we don't torture. We were not trying to make Saturday Night TV that was about Saturday Night TV entertainment solely. We hope we were doing a good show, but we hope we were encouraging the artists.
There is a lovely song, You're in the Band, which is where all the students get their parts, and it's full of riffs and references to famous rock songs. Was there a sense of a list of tracks you wanted to play homage to?
Well, we wanted to play homage to Satisfaction, but we recorded that on the cast album, and then they said, no, if we're going to use 2 bars of Satisfaction, we want 60% of the song. And when we added that up with everybody else, it meant that we became about 300% of the song. So, afraid we couldn't use Satisfaction. It means that we can't show our genuine tribute to the Rolling Stones, to the public. We were not allowed to use the Doors, which we did. So we actually used a little bit of Beethoven. So we now use one of mine, which I think is sneaky cool. We were allowed to use Smoke on the Water, which I suppose being a deep purple, I suppose, but also Ian Gillan was my Jesus and Jesus Christ Superstars, but we were allowed to use that one. But the whole idea was just to show little bits and pieces that people would identify with those particular instruments.
There's a strange sense of writing a show which has got a song in it called Stick It to the Man. I mean, the reality of dealing with rock music 50 years on, and so much of it is owned by big corporations.
Well, that's it. I mean, I would be extremely angry if I was Mick Jagger that we weren't allowed to go dun dun da da dun da dun dun twice. That's all we wanted to do. I would be furious that his stupid, music publishers wouldn't let us have it.
But there were people listening who'll say, but you're that multi-millionaire member of the House of Lords talking about sticking it to the man.
Well, absolutely. I mean, sadly, when I went into the House of Lords, this is a completely different conversation. It was a very different place to when it is now. I went in nearly 20 years ago, and it was still the last third of entries, and it was not a political house, and now it's a sort of place where we were supposed to vote on party political lines, and I don't enjoy it much now. But to stay in the House of Lords sometimes and be able to talk about the arts, and to be able to talk about the disgraceful arts cuts, which are so counterproductive, well, that's another thing.
Do tell me your views on that, because there's a huge amount of concern right now about the impact, particularly on children, of cuts both by local authorities and through central government on the provision of arts in schools, and more generally, the galleries are closing, local theatres are closing.
Well, all I can say is that I have an arts foundation. We have very nearly now 4,000 children in inner city schools involved who are getting musical education every week now through the foundation for their time at school. And we do it in secondary schools where, quite frankly, perhaps there's not a lot else sometimes. When they go to their school first, they get given a free violin and they learn how to play that. Now, it's not to make them into musicians, it is just to show how music can empower in so many different areas. The fact of the matter is, in my belief, that every penny that you spend on the arts, every penny that you spend on music, comes back to the exchequer 10 times over in so many different ways. One of the schools I'm involved with has 46 different languages spoken. That was a school that was in special needs, and through music it turned itself around, and 5 years ago got its first entry into Oxford as a special needs school. Now, of course, everybody's moving into the area because they want to send their children to it, but it was music that started it, and I cannot believe how short-sighted and blinkered various governments have been in not understanding that the arts are the one thing that goes across everybody, everything. We all benefit from the arts, whether it be the visual arts, whether it be drama, whether it be any area. I get really hot under the collar about that, and I'm very passionate about what our foundation does. And I just hope that, in a way, this show, in a sense, shows to people what music can do. We're not talking about classical music or rock music particularly, it's about music.
Lord Andrew Lloyd Webber and School of Rock is on at the New London Theatre in London until February. The children are magnificent, by the way. Now, in an age when we carelessly take dozens of photos a day on digital phones, there is a remarkable sense of freshness and surprise in the modernist photography which developed from the 1920s to the 1950s, also known as the New Vision. It was a time when photographers like Man Ray, Dorothea Lange and Edward Weston stopped trying to mimic painting and took advantage of lighter cameras, new techniques and cheap travel to create surreal